Greetings, salutations, and all of those good things. I am Celestial Saturn, and I am back with Touchsartved. Honestly, at this point, I just want to see what happens. There's not really much for me to say. I just want to keep going. And that's right. After finding out that they all knew each other, they pulled me aside to basically talk. Right. Aren't you the popular one, Saturn? I'm guessing you met Cross first. It would be more accurate to say that I found her. He saved my life. I merely performed my duty as a doctor. Although I must admit that I was confused when I woke up missing all my clothes. Leander makes a choke noise somewhere behind him and sighs. That makes that. Yeah, why was that? It's not what you think. Not like that. I hope not like that. We were unconscious, so we wouldn't know if it was like that. Saturn was in grave condition. I could hardly treat such injuries through tattered clothes. The silence that follows stretches uncomfortably long. I look away, unable to face Cross's disappointment, and catch fear snickering behind his hand. That's my cue to change the topic. Cross isn't the only one who saved me today. Don't you listen? I didn't save you. You were simply there. That's meant for you. We'll take no accolades in what they do. Leander reaches for men, but they duck under his arm with practiced ease, without so much as looking his way. As reliable as they are moody. You're one to talk, considering you neglected to warn her to stay off the streets at night. Yeah, that would have been like some good advice. Oh, I might have gotten a little distracted. Min's only response is a short breath. At any rate, I never got a chance to thank you, Min. Don't. The less soulless alive, the better. For a heartbeat, Min's eyes flicker towards Ice, and their lips twist. Ice is too busy nodding along with Veer's enthusiastic pantomime of stabbing to notice. Lost, no doubt, in an enthralling discussion. I've had enough of this hellhole. Let's go. Min and Cross share a brief look. Then the doctor speaks up. Very well, but there's something that I must discuss with Leander, if you'll excuse us, Saturn. And just like that, the three of them depart, leaving me alone to savor my gin in silence. Or so I think, until I hear a voice so soft and low it's practically a purr. Ah, right, that's Veer. Lost your tour guide? I turn to find crimson and pink eyes trained on me. And this is when you're supposed to get up and just walk away. It's not lost on me that they chose the instant the others left to strike. Just my luck. I had to be a bandit with the two most irritating people I've met all day. Monsters or not, there's no telling what I'll do if either of them push me again. Don't tell me Leander's already snuck off to get his knob slobbered out back. Well then, moving on. He's got business with Cross and Min. 201 business, isn't he lucky? Moving that image away as well. I can't tell if it's the champagne or the company, but Veer has grown noticeably more relaxed. sits with his chin propped on the back of his hand. His ears twitch whenever a hiccup shakes his shoulders. He can be adorable, but so much of an ass. Why are you so far away? Come, join us. Not with the 10-foot pole and pepper spray, buddy. Pats the empty bar stool beside Ice, but I hesitate. The smile Veer wears is sweet and it's distinctly sly. And with drinks in the mix, I dread how he and Ice will mess with me next. We don't bite. I'm not sure about that. Just hours ago, he tried to rob me, and you threatened me. Me? Steal? Surely you must have been mistaken. You sure it was me? Yes, it was you. And then you had the gall to kick me out just so you could go drinking. He gives another one of his shrugs. I was lonely. A simpler answer than I expected, but I guess I can't fault him for that. Veer suddenly slumps forward, gossamer sleeves pulling where he rests his elbows on his knees. I sets his hand on Veer's waist, narrowly preventing him from tipping off the counter. How about we start fresh, Get with proper introductions. Get off on the right foot and whatnot. I'll start. The name's Veer, hunter extraordinaire. Veer's right hand flutters to his chest and he bows his head, flinching when hair falls into his eyes. Ice doesn't say anything, so I suppose it's my turn now. Fine, it's Saturn. Veer considers me for a long moment, his tail idly swaying behind him. Then he knocks back the rest of his champagne. It's a pleasure to formally meet you, Saturn. He says my name slowly and deliberately, savoring every syllable. A tingle jumps down my spine. I quickly turn my gaze away. I smirks at my reaction over the rim of his glass. Is something funny there? Go, boy. Nope. I open my mouth and close it just as quickly. They want me to react, goading me into another ridiculous game. While their sharp, cat-like eyes keep me on edge, something about this tension is fun. It must be the gin. A flash of white over Ice's shoulders catches my eye. Across the bar, Karas heads for the door. I don't see Leander or Min, but it feels wrong to leave him without saying goodbye. I'll be back. Veer hums and wags his fingers at me as I leave. I slip through the crowd, careful not to touch anyone. But just as I'm nearing Karas... Uh-oh. I stagger, shoulder checked by a man with a neck thicker than both my thighs. He stares down at me, nostrils flaring. Out of my way, shit stain. Exactly as you said, sir. I am a shit stain. I shall move over here. Have a good night. My words spill out on their own. You watch it. I regret them as soon as they leave my mouth. That fucking chin. The roughneck wheels around, shoving a bloodhound out of the way so he can close in on me. What did you say? He shoves me backwards, sending me stumbling to the sticky floor. I'm fine, but my heart leaps into my throat when I see the roughneck bearing down on me. You trying to start something here? The roughneck freezes, his fist cocked back. A group of bloodhounds, called by the commotion, circle him, sizing him up. What feels like an agonizingly long moment, the roughneck looks from me to the bloodhounds. Finally, he sniffs and spits on the floor next to me. The lob narrowly misses my cheek. Screw it. Too many freaks in this circus tonight. He turns his back on me and comes face to face with Ice. A dangerous smile spreads across his face. You'll do. this is gonna be a brawl. What happens next is a blur. Ice's fist crashes into the roughneck's jaw, causing an eruption of gas, shouts, and even cheers around us. I scramble to my feet as the frantic crowd swarms around me, cutting off my sight of everything and everyone. Through the ruckus, I hear you, Leander, shouting, "Hey, hey! Ice, take it outside." Ignore them, everyone. Look, drinks are on me. With those 4 words, the wick erupts into hoots and hollers. How much money does this guy have? And if, he is going to be in debt for weeks with this. The ring around me disperses as bloodhounds and onlookers rush towards the bar. Through the thinning crowd, I catch glimpses of familiar faces. Ice vanishes out the back, dragging the roughneck behind him. Cross lingers near the door, searching, I suspect, for any wounded before he departs. Min draws their hood up tight as they slip out a side door, while Veer leans over the counter to swipe a glass of wine from behind the bar. And Leander's seated the opposite of the bar. He gestures dramatically and apologetically at the bartender. In the space of a heartbeat, I realize there's no telling when or if I'll see any of them ever again. Whoever I pursue may be the last person I get to speak to tonight, so I follow. I wanted to say goodbye to him. I should thank him, but what you've done is too fresh. Min doesn't care. Leave Veer to drink. I'll go for Cross. Hot on Cross's heels, I squeeze my way out of the bar. Of everyone I've met, he seems most likely to help me, and the least likely to murder me on a whim. Good point. Earlier this morning, he said I could go to the clinic for help whenever I need it. Time to see if that promise was actually worth anything. I breathe a sigh of relief once I'm free from the crowded bar. Cross, hearing me, turns my way. Saturn, you seem upset. I take the Amaryllis district is not to your liking. The mage who raised me sometimes made bizarre comments about the Amaryllis district, and now I think I have an inkling of what she meant. That's not why I stepped out. You're not in need of treatment after that fall, are you? I scowl up at him. He holds out his hands in a mollifying gesture. I apologize, Saturn. Please continue. About time. Someone cuts right across me towards Cross, stopping us both in the middle of the street. Even in the dim pink haze that seems to blanket everything, there's no mistaking the pressed white uniform and stiffly starched hat. Another Cenobian cleric. I hastily step back, making myself as inconspicuous as possible. Can I help you? Nervous onlookers hastily part around Cross and the cleric. The two form an island of white in a sea of teeming color. Enough, you know why I'm here. Then I hope you find this edifying. Cross reaches into his coat and produces 3 tiny glass vials, bound together in a thick leather cord of silvery powder shimmers inside. He gently flicks the glass, watching the contents swirl, and extends the vials to the cleric. This is it? They look extremely unimpressed. Appearances can be deceiving. He throws me a glance and a swift smile, but I'm too surprised to respond. Oh, he's about to do a sleight of hand. Cross was the first to warn me about the Cenobium. Nobody I met had anything good to say about them. Yet here he is, openly dealing with them in the Amaryllis district. I glance between Cross and the cleric, who seems to notice me for the very first time. Good night. They bow to Cross, offer me a perfectionary nod, and disappear into the seething crowd. Saturn, is something amiss? Isn't that dangerous? A conversation is hardly dangerous. You know what I mean. You're the one who warned me about the synovium. Shh! Be calm. He holds one finger to his lips, which subtly curl in a cat-like smile. Oh, you slipped them something good, didn't you? For now, please join me on a short stroll. Cross's golden eyes twinkle in the low light. He beckons me away from the main thoroughfare, down a side street filled with vendors hawking late-night snacks. What? Wait. Cross? Hey, Cross, can I have a snack? I don't have a lot of money, but can I have a snack? Cross, hold on. I want a snack. Now powerfully curious in spite of myself, I hurry after Cross. Each of his long, graceful strides is easily two of mine. I catch a glimpse of his gleaming white coat disappearing around the corner of the street. The moment I catch up, the delicious scent of freshly baked goods flood my nose, and my stomach gives a loud rumble. One honey pistachio cookie, please. Coming right up. Without breaking his swift pace, Karas plucks the sticky confection out of the merchant's hand and offers it to me. Yay, Karas bought me a snack! The heavenly smell makes my stomach rumble once more. I take a bite without hesitation. Karas watches me with an indulgent smile, and I notice he hasn't gotten anything for himself. You're not hungry? You need not concern yourself with me. He stops mid-sentence, his eyes darting back the way we came. The hairs stick up on the back of my neck. I turn just enough to peek over my shoulder, hoping I don't look too suspicious. Sure enough, it's the same cleric who waylaid us in the street, now wearing a thunderously angry expression. Uh-oh, we're in trouble. Well, disappointment can be a learning experience. Glamours of realization dawn over me as I stare up at him. What exactly was in those vials? Glitter. Glitter, the herpes of the craft world. Perhaps a rare and potent alchemical catalyst? Or some stale fish skin? The two do resemble one another, and it can be hard to tell them apart. Is he serious? I love this jaunty, you did some dumb shit music here. I chance another glance at the cleric, who is now trying to elbow their way between the food stalls. A few people make way, but most don't even notice their efforts. The street is far too crowded with hungry patrons. Shall we? Without even waiting for a response from me, he glides swiftly into the crowd once more. This is a well-duh situation. What's the point? Is there a point to all this running around? In addition to my personal amusement, I suppose I would like to show you the sights. He is serious, or seriously fucking with me. I'm not sure which. My disquiet must show because Cross's smile softens a bit. As I said, you have nothing to fear. He ducks into what looks like an abandoned doorway, but opens into a small covered market. The stalls here are full of more spices than I ever knew existed. Even taking a short breath makes me sneeze. Cross slows his pace, occasionally pausing to examine the insistent hawker's wares. Wait. He looks up from a display of livid red leaves, each as long as my forearm. He said, I have nothing to fear, but everyone in Arida seems wary of the synovium. Yeah, exactly. What's going on in the synovium? Like, that is a very good question. People fear the obvious trappings of power, wealth, force, or a hideously ostentatious tower. For my part, I find such trappings merely disappointing. The synovium once had great potential. They squandered it decades ago in the pursuit of trinkets, pleasure, and petty tyranny. Their narrow, prosaic interests have rendered them blind to all else that moves. I think that's the most I've ever heard Cross say on any topic. Well, yeah, I've only been here a day and a half, so of course it's going to be a little, you know. You sound like you know them well. Cross lets out a long, low sigh. You, Miss Little Saturn. Familiarity breeds contempt, and I am more familiar with the Cenobium's crude methods than I would like. Now I'm getting somewhere. Something beyond vague warnings or swift deflections. I decide to press the point while I have the chance. However, we're going to wait till next time to find out what point we're going to press. So, we're saving that. And we'll be back with Cross and delving more into his past in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe, notifications, I guess, since I never really asked for that. But until then, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!